Good evening and welcome to the September 27th Township Committee meeting. Adequate notice of the September 27th meeting has been provided in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, posted written notice and agenda on the meeting on the bulletin board in the municipal building, 1000 Route 10, Township of Hanover, and by hand delivering, mailing, and faxing such notice and agenda to the following newspapers: Hanover Eagle, Morris County Daily Record, the Star Ledger, and by filing same with the Township Clerk. Mr. Giorgio, would you please take a roll call?
Thank you, Mr. Faramasca. Committeeman Schleifer.
Here.
Committeeman Bruno.
Here.
Committeeman Capola.
Here.
And Deputy Mayor Faramasca
Here.
presiding. And we'll note for the record that Mayor Francioli is at a meeting at Drumthwacket with the governor.
Oh, very nice.
4 members in attendance, sir.
All please rise to the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, at this time, I'd like to have a motion to open the meeting to members of the public who might be here wishing to speak.
Second.
Any members of the public at this time would like to come to the podium and address the Township Committee, please be our guest.
Motion to close.
Seeing none, we'll close.
So moved.
Yes, sir.
Should I approach or should I?
No, please.
No. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go to the podium. Go up to the podium.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I didn't see anybody get up, sorry.
It's my surrogate.
Your henchman.
Eric Gatassi, 8 Catherine Drive. Just didn't understand the notion of having, I can't think of the word now, kids having to go home by 10 o'clock on
Curfew?
curfew. Thank you. Is that things, what is our curfew policy? And is that the policy of local towns and townships?
Every town is different. The Township of Hanover has a curfew policy. I can tell you about Mischief Night and Halloween Night. We have a certain policy that unless you're accompanied by a parent and you're over 18 or under 18, you can't be on the street, I believe, after 10 o'clock at night. But every municipality is different, and it's up to each governing body to make that determination. And it's to prevent any vandalism. That's
and what's our town's policy regarding curfew on every other night?
Can we
Chief, would you like to?
It is 10 o'clock during the regular part of the year. I think for somebody, I think it might be 9 o'clock.
And that applies to children at what particular age, or?
I believe it's under 18.
Yeah, it's under 18. Mm-hmm.
And that applies to, my concern is, we didn't have a curfew policy when I was a kid. My kid's 14 years old. He's an AB student. If he's walking, and we live down by Blackbrook, if he plays basketball at 10 o'clock at Blackbrook, I guess he could get in trouble. If he's walking from a friend's house or after babysitting a couple houses down from Blackbrook and walks down to our house, he could get in trouble. And what I say in trouble is that he's going to get arrested. I'm just kind of like really kind of scratching my head about what the town's policy is.
I have to read the ordinance, but I think there's some provisions in there for teens that are working. But that's never happened.
But interesting for the record, sir, we've had a lot of vandalism at Blackbrook Park. In fact, there's been vandalism. We had a beautiful sign that said Blackbrook Park that was contributed or donated by the Rotary. Well, someone came along and actually chopped it into 3 pieces. And we had to replace that sign it was over $2,000.
Yeah. Like I said, I live right down Blackbrook. I volunteer for the baseball team. I give out hot dogs and stuff.
Sure.
I'm not working right now. I went down and picked weeds on my own free time. I have nothing better to do. I'm kind of against the policy of not having kids enjoying our parks and stuff like that. If there is vandalism, I believe they should be prosecuted. Kids are smoking, I believe they should be prosecuted. But I just wanted to come down and see what our town's all about.
Thank you for
Try to
taking.
understand the policy. And
Thank you for taking the time to come
That's
out and
what I'm
express
trying
your perspective. We value your opinion, we listen. And to Mr. Giorgio's point, you may not have been aware of it, but last year at the field house at Blackbrook Park, we had to take down I think it was a 30-year-old tree, a beautiful tree that grew between the field house and the junior field. And the reason that we had to take down the tree is that mischief was going on. Children were using that tree as a means to get on top of a roof. Well, they'd get on top of the roof and they would take the tiles off the roof and they would throw those tiles at one another. Fortunately, no one was killed. Fortunately, no one lost their eye. But the township, in order to be proactive, they had to take that tree down. And it's a shame because it was a beautiful tree. It provided shade. And we are very proud of the recreational opportunities we provide to the children in town. We want your son to take full advantage of it. We appreciate the fact you contributing your time to help beautify that park. So unfortunately, we have to go with something that would have some kind of curfew within township to allow for there to be a managed situation. But I personally thank you for coming out and sharing your perspective on it.
all right, gentlemen, won't hold you up anymore.
Okay.
Have a good night.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Any other member of the public would like to speak at this time? Seeing none, I'd like to get a motion to close this
So
portion of the
moved.
meeting.
Second?
Okay.
Okay.
Next portion of our meeting is the minutes.
Okay, we have the approval of the Township's bid reception committee meeting on August 14th, 2012. May we have a motion for approval?
So moved.
So moved by
Second.
Mr. Schleifer, seconded by Mr. Bruno. On roll call, Mr. Schleifer.
Aye.
Mr. Bruno.
Aye.
Mr. Capola.
Aye.
And Mr. Faramaska.
Aye.
So approved. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the rare occasions where we don't have any ordinances for introduction of public hearing. So we'll proceed now to the consent agenda of the resolutions, 1A and B, and then resolutions 2 through 8. Are there any questions from members of the governing body concerning any of the resolutions?
No, Joe.
Okay, hearing none, may we have a motion on the approval of the consent agenda by Mr. Capola?
Second.
Second by Mr. Faramaska. On roll call, Mr. Schleifer.
Aye.
Mr. Bruno.
Aye.
Mr. Capola.
Aye.
And Mr. Faramaska.
Aye.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have one late item which was discussed by the governing body during conference work session, and it is a confirmation resolution. Just for the record, the Township Committee at its meeting on August 23rd held a public hearing concerning 4 properties that require attention, and there are a number of property maintenance violations. No one appeared at that public hearing to discuss the 4 properties. The 4 properties were 110 Parsippany Road, 38 Nye Avenue, 441 Route 10, and 940 Route 10. I'm pleased to report Mr. Donlin, our property maintenance officer, construction official, advises me that the property maintenance violations at 110 Parsippany Road have been abated. However, he has recommendations on the 3 other properties, and they are as follows. He is recommending that the Township Committee authorize the following at 38 Nye Avenue: that the property be cleaned up and maintained, landscaping, cut and trim the lawn, hedges, excuse me, and the lawn, hedges, and brush, and trim the lawn, and remove all debris and garbage from the exterior of the property. That's at 38 Nye Avenue. With regard to 441 Route 10, Mr. Donlin is requesting the approval on taking the following action: landscaping, cut and trim lawns, hedges, and brush from becoming overgrown and unsightly. 2, remove all debris and garbage from the exterior of the property area. 3, secure from the exterior all doors and windows with plywood, painted to match the house color. And the fourth recommendation, grade the property appropriately. For 940 Route 10, Mr. Donlin recommends the following. Also, landscaping, cut and trim the lawns, hedges, and brushes from being overgrown and unsightly. Remove all debris and garbage from the exterior of the property. 3, secure from the exterior all doors and windows with plywood, painted to match the house color. And 4, grade the property appropriately. Those are Mr. Donlin's recommendations, and in accordance with the recommendation of the township attorney, he would ask, if you're in concurrence with the recommendations, a motion to have the property maintenance officer implement those recommendations.
I'll make that motion.
So moved by Mr. Farmaska, seconded by Mr. Bruno. And what we would do, we would pay for it and place a lien on the property so that if and when the property is sold, whomever purchased the property would be required to pay all those liens.
Good,
So we have
thank
a
you.
motion by Mr. Farmaska, seconded by Mr. Bruno. On roll call, Mr. Schleifer,
Aye.
Mr. Bruno,
Aye.
Mr. Capola, and Mr. Farmaska.
Aye.
So approved. Now, I appreciate, ladies and gentlemen, on page 2 of your agenda, excuse me, as a consent agenda, we have raffle applications 2596 and 2592 and 2596 for St. John the Baptist Ukrainian Catholic Church. Raffle application 2593, Monsignor Sharon Assembly 673, Knights of Columbus. Raffle application 2594, Morristown Beard School. And raffle application 2595, the Rose House. Are there any questions on any of those raffle applications? And I believe on application 2593, Mr. Capola would be recusing himself since he serves as the faithful navigator for Monsignor Sharon Assembly 673. Are there any questions concerning any of the other raffle applications? Hearing none, may we have a motion on the approval?
So moved.
So moved by Mr.
Second.
Schleifer, seconded by Mr. Bruno. We'll note for the record that Mr. Capola will abstain on raffle application 2593. Mr. Schleifer.
Aye.
Mr. Bruno.
Aye.
Mr. Capola,
Aye.
with the exception of 2593, and Mr. Farmaska.
Aye.
So approved. Mr. Chairman, members of the Township Committee, that clears the agenda of the Township Administrator at this hour.
It's a world record.
Thank you, Mr. Giorgio. At this time, are there any members of the Township Committee that would like to report on other business?
Quickly from the Recreation Department, there is a notice on our website that the tennis courts and basketball courts at Blackbrook are closed this week for resurfacing. However, that project has not started yet due to the possibility of inclement weather. I believe we are scheduled to start that next week. So if anybody had plans to play tennis or basketball this weekend at Blackbrook, please do so. However, next weekend we may be closed pending the weather that they're hoping for to get that project finished.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Bruno. Anybody else? Mr. Capola, would you like to speak about the Whippany Burial Yard? The tribute.
Well,
from-
everyone will be getting an invite on that one for October 13th, honoring Bob O'Gelly. Bob, who served for, I think it's like 30 years on the Landmark Commission, and we're dedicating a tree for him as well as a plaque on the tree, on the ground itself, in memory of Bob, because that really was his baby. I mean, he lived to just make sure everything was just perfect within that, the burial yard. So October 13th with a rain date of October 14th.
Okay, thank you very much.
Everyone will be on the committee to get an invitation.
Invitations are out already.
They're out already, okay.
Given the subject of trees, just a quick update from the environmental group in the Township Arborist. We had a Hanover free tree giveaway, and boy did we do good this year. It was the quickest response reported in the past 6 years since the program has been run. We had 115 applicants for the 100 trees to be given away. 50 residents have already claimed their trees. And many are arranging for delivery and planting installation by the local nursery. Just a reminder, for those who have won the lottery on the tree, you have until November 18th to claim it. That concludes my report, and seeing no other reports from members of the committee at this time, I'd like to open this meeting back to members of the public. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, at this time, if there's a member of the public who would like to address the Township Committee, you're welcome to the podium at this time. Seeing none, may I have a motion to close this portion of the meeting?
So moved.
Public? So moved.
Everything must be quiet on the Whippany side of Hanover Township.
Mr. Second.
May I have, gentlemen, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So
So
moved.
moved.
Thank you all.
There's no watching the football game.
Meeting is adjourned.
The referees are back.
Joe, is that a record or no?
It is a record.
Only because I didn't get out.
We thank you for that,
I was.
Joe. From the bottom of our hearts.
Joe, I would prefer you get out.
Those are,